each member of Huntrix suffered a tragedy that marked them for life. Rumi lost her parents, Zoe was discriminated against because of her dual nationality, and Mira had such a sad past that it almost seems unreal. She is depicted as the toughest and strongest in the Huntrix group. But what if I told you that this is just a shield she built because of her sad and traumatic past? Get ready, friends, because this time we're going to see the sad story behind Mira. Let's start with the origin of her trauma, her own family. We know almost nothing about Mira's family. The only thing we have are a few photos in which we can see her mom, her dad, and her brother. What's curious is that there's a huge contrast between Mira and her family. They seem to be very serious and elegant, while Mira is more casual and rebellious. Well, friends, with these simple photos, we were told about all the traumas Mira experienced from her childhood to her teenage years. And these people here are not her real biological parents, they're her adoptive parents. And many people believe that Mira is adopted for several reasons that were shown to us in the movie, but we'll look at these theories at the end of the video. Let's talk about Mira's sad and traumatic childhood. Since she was little, her parents always wanted to shape her to be very much like them. If we look at the first photo from when she was just a baby, we can see that they wanted to dress her in the same boring and serious clothes they wore. Mira didn't like this at all. They simply forced her to act a certain way, speak a certain way, and behave in a way that wasn't her at all. At first, her parents weren't so hard on her. Maybe it was just a phase. But things got complicated for Mira as she grew up. She started to become rebellious and stopped dressing the way her parents wanted to force her. But that only brought her ridicule and humiliation from them, especially from her brother. They made Mira look like the black sheep of the F-E-R-V-E-R-A family. They always used her brother as an example with his grades, friendships, and attitude. They told Mira, "Brother, you'll never be anyone if you keep going like this. You're a disgrace to this family." The worst part was that if Mira showed any kind of weakness or feelings, her family would use it against her to bother her and, in a way, influence her to make her change. So Mira had no choice but to hide all her feelings and become insensitive. What she was looking for was just a little love and understanding, which she was never able to get. Every day was a reminder for Mira that she didn't fit in her own family, that they saw her as a weirdo, a disdain. This affected Mira so much that she ended up not trusting anyone since she felt betrayed by Y. At school, things only got worse. She saw how her brother was the one with perfect grades, the one all the teachers liked, while she was only seen as the girl. Problem? Surely they were very prestigious schools that Mira attended, which is why the humiliation and rejection were more obvious. In fact, not only from her classmates, but also from her own teacher's siblings. Since one of the lines she mentions in the song Golden is that her teacher said she wouldn't make it. And possibly because of this, Mira got into several fights with her classmates, which probably led to her being expelled from several schools. All this pressure made Mira look for a way out or something to take refuge in, and she found the answer in dance. And this helped her a lot, since all those mixed feelings and things she couldn't express to the world in a normal way, like a simple conversation, venting, or even crying, she did it through dance. And I'm sure that with the few friends she made at school, she wanted to tell them about what she felt. But because of the deep trauma her parents left her with, she was never able to express herself to anyone. In fact, little by little, she was becoming tougher and more distant, taking on a defensive and evasive personality. We could see it throughout the movie, like when she scared Dr. Han, or when she completely changed from being Rumi's friend into a warrior who didn't care that her friend turned into a demon and completely despised her. We believe that Mira simply ran away from home to show her skills in the K-pop world, and because of her strong talent, she was able to start building her career until she reached Huntrix. And even though it seems like she completely hates them, in reality, Mira actually has some mixed feelings about her family. What she probably hopes for the most is to see her parents and even her brother at one of her concerts supporting her. But apparently this is never going to happen. They are too strict and serious to be attending these kinds of events that don't match their social class. Anyway, apparently Mira's parents are never going to connect with her. Is Mira really adopted? Well, yes and no. Actually, it's not really known for sure if she's actually in an adopted family. Most likely, they'll reveal this to us in the second part of the movie. But what we do have today are a few theories about who the people in the photos with her really are. First, there's the aspect of her hair and the possible theory that she might also be a demon. And we saw that those who are part demon have cooler and more colorful hair compared to normal humans. And how could Mira have gotten this curse from Gima? If these supposed parents of hers look so serious that they even take out the trash themselves. Well, this is where the theory that she's adopted comes in. It's not known if both of her parents died like what happened to Rumi and she was adopted by one of her uncles. Or could it also be that something similar to Cinderella's story happened to her, where Mira's father was left a widower and decided to get together with an ugly woman who already had a son. And these two scoundrels completely changed her father by taking advantage of his loss. That's why we said Mira could be adopted, but she might not be. Mira's story shows us that even your own family can turn their back on you just because they want to prove something to society. Many times, children have ideas that are different from traditional ones, and parents simply reject them because they don't feel comfortable with those new ideas. Mira showed us that even if your own family pushes you aside and tries to shape you their way, you always have to be yourself, believe in yourself, and be strong enough to face these situations. Possibly in the future? Look, he let out all these emotions he's kept inside for all these years, and we can see that side he hides behind his cold personality. But what do you think about Mira's sad story? Friends, have any of you experienced something similar? Which other character would you like us to do for you? Their sad K-pop story, Demon Hunters? We'll read your comments.